Here we will see date format style in convert function. First is US standard with format mm/dd/yy. To get a value, use 1 or 101 with convert function. For example, select convert varchar getDate 1 or select convert varchar getDate 101 will give the output 10/5/23 and 10/5/2023. If we give the value 1, it will display here in YY format, and if we give the value 101, it will display here in YY format. Next is display date in ANSI standard, that is yy.mm.dd. To get this, use the value 2 or 102. For example, select convert varchar getDate, 2 or select convert varchar getDate, 102 will give the output 23.10.05 or 2023.10.05. If you give the value as 2, it will display here in YY format, and if you give the value 102, it will display here in YY format. Next is displaying date in British or French standard, which is dd/mm/yy format. To get this, use value 3 or 103 with convert function. For example, select convert varchar getDate, 3 or select convert varchar getDate, 103 will give the output. If we give the value 3, it will display here in YY format, and if we give the value 103, it will display here in YY format. Next is German standard, that is dd.mm.yy. To get this format, we will use the value 4 or 104. For example, select convert varchar getDate, 4 or select convert varchar getDate, 104 will give the output 05.10.23 or 05.10.2023. That is, if we give the value 4, it will display here in YY format, and if we give the value 104, it will display here in 2023 format, that is YY format. Next is Italian standard, that is dd-mm-yy. To get this, use the value 5 or 105. For example, select convert varchar getDate, 5 or select convert varchar getDate, 105 will give the output 05-10-23 or 05-10-2023. That is, if we give the value 5, it will display here in YY format, and if we give the value 105, it will display here in YY format. Next is DD month YY format. For this, use the value 6 or 106. For example, select convert varchar getDate, 6 or select convert varchar getDate, 106 will give the output 5 October 23 or 5 October 2023. That is, it will display month in text format. Next format is month DD, YY. To get this, use the value 7 or 107. For example, select convert varchar getDate, 7 or select convert varchar getDate, 107 will give the output October 05, 23 or October 05, 2023. That is, here it will display month in text format first, then date, and then year. Next is USA standard. For this, use the value 10 or 110. For example, select convert varchar getDate, 10 or select convert varchar getDate, 110 will give the output 10-05-23 or 10-05-2023. Next is Japan standard, that is YY/mm/dd. To get this format, use the value 11 or 111. For example, select convert varchar getDate, 11 or select convert varchar getDate, 111 will give the output 23/10/05 or 2023/10/05. Next is ISO standard, that is YY/mm/dd. To get this, use the value 12 or 112. For example, select convert varchar, getDate, 12 or select convert varchar getDate, 112. It will give the output 231005 or 20231005. Now we will execute these queries. First, we will display date in US standard. For this, we will use select convert varchar, getDate, 1. or we will use 101, and when we execute it will display date in 10/05/23 and 10/05/2023. That is, when we specify 1 it will display year in 23, that is 2 digits, and when we use 101 it will display year in 4 digit. Then we will use ANSI standard. For this we will use here 2 and 102, and when we execute it will display date in 23.10.05 and 2023.10.05 format. Here first year is displayed, then month, and then date. Then we'll use British or French standard. For this we'll use here 3, and when we execute it will display date in 5/10/23 or 5/10/2023. Then we'll display date in German standard. For this we'll use here 4 and 104, and when we execute it will display 5.10.23 or 5.10.2023. Then we'll display in Italian standard. For this we'll use here 5 or 105, and when we execute it will display 5-10-23 or 5-10-2023. Then we'll display date in DD month YY format. For this we'll use here 6 and 106, and when we execute it will display 5 October 23 or 5 October 2023. With this format it will display month in text format. Then we'll display month DDYY format. For this we'll use here 7 and 107, and when we execute it will display October 5, 23 and October 5, 2023. Then we'll display in USA standard. For this we'll use here 10 and 110, and when we execute it will display 10-5-23 or 10-5-2023. Then we'll display in Japan standard. For this we'll use here 11 and 111, and when we execute it will display 23/10/05 or 2023/10/05, and then we'll display in ISO standard. For this we'll use here 12 and 112, and when we execute it will display date in ISO standard, that is 23/10/05 or 2023/10/05, year, month and date.